Well, ahead of renegotiating the existing North American free trade agreement, Canada and Mexico have signed a pact aimed at deepening economic ties.
We will scale up our engagement in foreign affairs, in trade and investment, in agriculture, natural resources, in energy, finance, health, the environment, and public safety and security.
Billed as a comprehensive strategic partnership, it includes a plan to build infrastructure like ports, rail, and energy corridors. They'll also work closer on tackling organized crime and protecting the environment. Carney and Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum emphasizing the new pact will complement the Canada-U.S.-Mexico agreement. We are expecting to hear from both the Minister of Foreign Affairs and the Minister responsible for Canada-U.S. trade later this hour. When we do, we will bring you those comments live. But let's bring in Scott Reid now, CTV News political commentator. Scott, clearly the Prime Minister trying to shore up some support from at least one of two parties as these negotiations are going to get underway for CUSMA. What do you make of the agreement between Canada and Mexico and the details that we've heard this far?
Well, it's important, but it's necessary more than anything. I mean, when you listen to those two leaders, they talk about strengthening bilateral ties. They talk about being on the same page with respect to renegotiation and trying to strengthen North American free trade. But let's be honest, they're brought together in common cause by a common fear, and that is Donald Trump threatening to dismantle and undermine and abandon North American free trade. And we know what the consequences of that would be. The consequences would be that it will not just hinder trade, but it will kill jobs, slow growth, and raise the prices for all kinds of consumer goods. And so you see the two leaders saying, let's do everything we can to work together if we can no longer count on the United States, but then let's also work together to try to manage this free trade challenge with the United States and keep this idea of North American free trade working.
Yeah, and for the two of them, it clearly is signaling that, at least for at this point. On the other hand, you know, do they risk upsetting Donald Trump heading into these negotiations and that side? Because, you know, at some point, it does feel like these two have gotten together before the renegotiations have started.
You got it. I mean, and that's why you see such delicate diplomatic language. We have a comprehensive strategic agreement. Oh, no, this is complementary to CUSMA renegotiations. It's complementary to the very concept of CUSMA. And they're saying those things to try to dull any edge that might scrape up against Donald Trump. We know that he's impetuous. We know that it can take virtually nothing to set him up. We know he's the kind of leader who says, I'm going to inflict economic damage on both of your economies, raise tariffs, and threaten to tear up free trade agreement across all of North America. But if you should react to any of that negatively, well, I'll take that as an insult and a provocation. So they are doing a very delicate, very diplomatic dance, and that is probably not just necessary, but dead smart.
And for you too, and watching this too, and certainly it appears that it's coming. It's happening right now. But as this process certainly starts to move forward and we go back and the review is starting, so to speak, we get into next, how long do you believe that this is going to take? Are we into like the end of next year, the possibility of a new agreement? And that, or clearly it's just going to depend on if these three sides can actually get together to hammer out some of the details?
It's extraordinarily difficult to predict. But take a step back and just ask yourself these common sense questions. Has anything that Donald Trump has done since he took office signaled comfort with this kind of large multilateral free trade agreement? The answer is no. If anything, he almost certainly looks at it and says, I can't impose more tariffs on Mexico and Canada because of CUSMA. I can't put more tariffs on different industries, different sectors, different products, and that frustrates me. And so I think you have to start from the premise that he very well may wish to move to dismantle it, and he may wish to move rapidly. And that really begins in October. And so it's no mistake, I think, that they're meeting now.
Yeah, clearly, again, keeping a close eye. Scott Reid, CTV News political commentator. Thanks, Scott, as always, for this.
Thanks. Have a great day.